I remember how ordinary she looked when they brought her in. Not weak, not nervous, just unremarkable. Mid-40s, maybe. Simple blazer, hair pulled back, no jewelry except a watch that had seen years of use. She stood at the front of the courtroom like someone used to waiting her turn, like someone who understood rooms like this, even if the room didn't understand her. They said she was disruptive, refused to follow instructions, raised her voice, interfered with proceedings. That word again. Interfered. The officer beside her looked like he believed it. Uniform pressed sharp, posture stiff, eyes locked forward like he had already decided who she was. The judge hadn't entered yet. The room moved in low noise. Papers, whispers, chairs shifting, routine, until it wasn't. Sit down, the officer said. She was already seated. I am, she replied. Calm, flat. That seemed to irritate him more than anything. I said sit down properly, he snapped. She didn't move. Not out of defiance. Out of certainty. And that's when it happened. Fast. A hand. A shove. Then another. Sharper. Clearer. This time no one could pretend they didn't see it. The room froze. Because this wasn't procedure. This was something else. She didn't react. Didn't raise her hands. Didn't argue. She just absorbed it, like it wasn't the first time she had been underestimated in a room full of people who thought they had control. The officer stepped back, adjusting his uniform like nothing had happened. The judge entered. Everyone stood. Everyone, except the wait already sitting in the room. What's going on? The judge asked. No one answered. Not right away. The officer straightened. Nothing, Your Honor. We're ready to proceed. The woman slowly stood now. On her own terms. No rush. No hesitation. The judge glanced at her. Why was there a delay? He asked. She looked at him. Then at the officer. Then back. No delay, she said. Just clarity. That word didn't fit. Not in that moment. The judge frowned slightly. Proceed, he said. The officer began speaking. Confident. Clean. She was non-compliant. Disruptive. Required intervention. His words came easy. Too easy. Like he had said them before. Like they always worked. She didn't interrupt. Didn't react. Just listened. And something about that made the room feel tighter. When it was her turn, she didn't step forward. Didn't defend herself. She just reached into her bag. Slowly. Carefully. The officer tensed slightly. Instinct. But didn't move. She pulled out a folder. Then something smaller. Placed it on the table. A badge. Not his. Different. Heavier. Official. The room leaned in. Because now, something didn't fit. The officer looked at it first. Then looked again. Longer this time. Because recognition doesn't come all at once. It builds. Piece by piece. Until it hits. Hard. What is this? The judge asked. But his voice had already changed. Less certain. More careful. She met his eyes. Steady. Unshaken. My identification, she said. Silence. The officer didn't move. Didn't speak. Because now he knew. Even before the words came. I was appointed this morning, she continued. Effective immediately. No one breathed. No one shifted. Because now, the room wasn't the same room anymore. I'm your new police chief. The words didn't echo. They settled. Heavy. Final. The officer stepped back. Just one step. But it was enough. Because the man who had just put his hands on her had just crossed a line he couldn't step back over. The judge leaned back slowly, taking it in, understanding it, the weight of it. The woman didn't raise her voice, didn't press the moment. She just stood there, exactly the same as before. Only now, the room saw her differently. Clearly. Finally, the officer opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Because there are moments where explanation doesn't exist. Only consequence. And as the silence stretched, deeper than anything that had been said, I realized something I won't forget. The moment he thought he was in control was the moment he lost everything.